What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday. What would you call it? The 4th of July Eve. And we are live on YouTube and on Instagram. A few announcements before we get started. You guys know what to do. Hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and a message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, it is a talk show, so you can call in at any point during the show. 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773. And we can talk about whatever you want. All in the name of Jesus. You got those options. Oh, and if you can't call in and you still have a question or comment or you want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description, or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Hit the super chat button. Send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air. Amazing stuff. What we got going on? Shout out to the YouTube chat, Snake Pit, live chat, Mod Squad, hold it down. Shout out to the IG chat, Lions Den as well. Shout out to all the folks watching and tuning in. Amazing stuff. We got some stuff to get into. I got some super chats to read as well. We're going to get into all of it. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, right? Amazing stuff. So, I got a clip I want to play for you guys. I got some stuff. I got some mess to talk. I got some mess to talk. And we're going to talk. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. Standing your ground. We're going to talk about it because it's what we got to do. Especially as Christians. And especially as conservatives. I do this in quotations because I like the Christian one better. But I got a clip here from you guys' favorite lady, Lily Gaddis. The ladies in my chat love them some Lily Gaddis, don't they? Especially Terry. Terry loved Lily. I got a clip from Lily on X. Oh, shoot. Hold on. And Lily has some stuff to say. Very interesting stuff. I came across it. And I wanted to talk about it because she made an interesting point. She made an interesting point here. A few interesting points that I want to get to and talk about. And make sense of. Oh, I cut my hair. You guys want to see? What do you guys think? I'm black. I'm officially black. Frederick said, no, Joel, you love Lily. Oh, come on. But Lily was on X. And she's talking about some stuff. You know, she's doing her little rant thing. And I wanted to talk about it because she made some good points. So let's get to it. We got some callers on the line. Give me a second, callers. I will get you in a second. You can call in 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773. Let's get to it. Maria Ubaldo with the super chat out the gate. Happy 4th to the JLP fam and everyone. Love you. Love you back, Maria Ubaldo. Appreciate the support. Happy 4th. Amazing stuff. This is from X. Lily Gaddis encourages conservatives to stop running. Here we go.
Oh, my God. This is so true. We have just been giving up ground. We've just been surrendering all this ground to the liberals. Like California, we just gave them California. We'll retreat. That is the biggest problem with conservatives, is we go along to get along. We don't like confrontation. We don't like a fight. We don't whatever. So we just are like, okay, fine. You've taken over California. We'll just give up. We'll just move to West Virginia. Well, guess what? They're going to come from West Virginia next. And then where are we supposed to go? They're going to back us against the wall until we're literally our backs against the ocean. There's only so much land. Like, when is the line? Where is the line? Even this idea of, like, I get the whole national divorce thing. And I even understand arguments where they're like, we're going to split the country in half or whatever. And liberals, that. I don't want to give them half the country, because you know what? They're going to get the good half of the country. California rules. They've got the redwoods. They got Yosemite. They got amazing beaches and oceans. Like the maverick, awesome surfing there. You can ski. You can surf in the same day. It's a perfect climate. You can grow anything there. And we just gave them the best state in the country. They have everything there. And what are we going to do? Give them half the country now? That. There's way more of us than there are them. So we have to stop abandoning the liberal cities. We have to, instead of just giving it up to them, instead of just surrendering ground without even a fight, we have to all stay in those areas, because they'll just keep taking more and more land. Stay in those areas, stand your ground, and fight.
Lily Gaddis. Lily. Now, she be using a lot of profanity, and, it's not very ladylike, but she's making great points. And, we've heard JLP talk about this plenty times when he says that stand your ground and fight, because what JLP has said and what she's saying is that you're right, is that they're just going to keep running us off. And California at one time was, I'd never seen it, and there's beautiful parts of California that I just haven't been to. And there's some beautiful ones that I've been to. But for the most part, California at one point was like a beautiful place to go. People still come here because they still like it. But it's not what it used to be back then, right? And obviously, California has different pockets of different places. Like, you go to different areas, it's more conservative, like Huntington Beach or what do you call that region? Orange County. I don't know if it's a region or not, but Orange County. And it's more like red, but for the most part, like California is pretty blue, and it's getting crazy, it's getting out of control. But it's gotten that way because they just are taking it over, and everybody's moving now to Texas and moving to Florida because those places are known to be more conservative. Moving to the South, stuff like that. But what's happening, like she just said, is that everybody is just getting back to a corner, and eventually we're gonna just be back to the corners of Florida or Maine, and we're just gonna be at the corner, the edge, thinking, where do we go now? And she makes a great point, is that we got to plant our feet. and stand our ground and be firm. And mind you, I live in Los Angeles, right in the heart of, Jasmine said, no, stay out of Texas. I live right in the heart of Los Angeles, and Lord have mercy. Los Angeles has some better parts, and Los Angeles has some pretty bad parts. And it's just very dirty. It's very just messy. And living here, it makes you think. There's plenty of times where I'm thinking like, you know what? I can just get up and go somewhere else. There's plenty of times where I thought about it, and because I used to always say growing up that living on the outskirts of LA, I used to say I'd never move to LA because I always seen how bad LA was. And I was like, I'll never go, never go. And somehow 8 years ago, I ended up right here, right in the dab in the middle. And I've been here ever since. And I'm still trying to understand why. Well, obviously, Bond is here, I work here, and all that good stuff. But, you know, at one point, Bond was supposed to leave. We were supposed to go to another place. And it was just a whole thing. But we're still here. So it makes you question, well, why? I still don't know why. But I think Lily makes a great point, is that running is not solving the problem. Right? And maybe at some point it's necessary to be led somewhere else. Of course, right? You want to be led. But running is not the answer, because if they took over California that once was beautiful, they'll take over Texas. Oh, they're coming for Texas next. And they're coming for Florida too. DeSantis is doing the best that he can, it seems like. But they coming for Florida because that's just how evil works. Evil takes over where people don't stand firm. And they just run and run and run and run and run. And like Lily was saying, California is one of the most beautiful places to go. I can't brag upon it because I haven't seen that much of California. I've only seen the parts that are okay and the really bad parts. So I never can brag on California. But the weather, the beaches, and I guess some other stuff. So she's right, though. You got to plant your feet. And when I say stand your ground, I got to make this clear. Sir said you can't come to Texas. We don't want you. I'll accept Terry, though. What the? I thought about Texas, too. I was like, dang, maybe I'm thinking about Texas. Maybe Texas might be fun. And I have a friend who lives in Texas, and he always tells me, you got to come over here, man. You got to come over here. But I don't know if my allergies can deal with Texas. Frederick, Joel, men don't need to be led. Oh, men don't need to be led by Jesus, Frederick? Men don't need to be led by God? But when I say stand your ground, I don't mean like go protest. I don't mean go fight. And I don't mean go preach. That's not what I mean by stand your ground. I don't know what Lily means. That's not what I mean. When I say stand your ground, I mean stand firm, plant your feet, work on yourself, overcome, be the light. So when the opportunities come to you to put your foot down, call things out, speak up, then you're able to do it and make a difference in your world and the people around you, and then eventually you can expand, right? But I don't mean I think people also get it twisted when they hear fight back. You don't go looking for fights, and people do that a lot. They go looking for fights, they go looking to protest, looking for war. No, you'll know when the time is to move, but just work on yourself and fix your house, your home. And trust me, the war coming to you. And God will lead us where we need to go to be of the light. But yeah, don't be going out and preaching either. Lord have mercy. That's the ugliest thing you can ever do. Go out, start preaching to somebody. I don't even like the little street preachers that be all around LA. Just annoying, just making noise on the corners of the street. Making a bunch of noise. I don't even like that. But yeah, you gotta stand your ground. And lastly, and then I'm gonna get to some calls. California has gone to hell now, but before it wasn't like it is now. Yeah, Maria, I know. I've heard the stories, but I've also seen it change a little bit in my lifetime. And Lord have mercy. If I have time, I'll get to a little story about some things I found out about the origins of Hollywood, how it started and all that stuff. Very interesting. But maybe if we have time. But before I get to calls, let me just say this. This is my opinion. Don't believe nothing I say. Think for yourself and know for yourself. I can always be wrong, but this is what I believe to be true. I think that women need to stay out of politics. And I'm talking about all involvement, all interest, all that stuff. Watching it, studying it, getting arguments about it, debates, stay out of it. In my opinion. Because I'm going to tell you why. Politics is already very divisive for no reason. It's silly. But that's just how it is. That's just the nature of politics as we know it today. Maybe it was different back then. Maybe it'll change. Who knows? But it's very divisive. And what I mean by that is that it's always about picking sides. I'm better, you're worst. Judgment. It's very judgmental. It's all about fighting. It's all about war. And it's not about peace. It's not about peace at all. And that's the nature of politics as we know it today. But I don't think it was intended for that. And I don't think that's the way it started. I think it was founded on Christian values and it had the spirit of God within it. But I think it's gotten corrupted over the years. And human nature just slips into things like that. But back to the point, I don't think women should get involved, but because of how divisive it can be, women get involved in it, and it really sets off their emotional state, and it makes them aggressive, and it makes them very overly talkative, overly opinionated, and that's not a feminine nature. It's very masculine, and it's very off-putting. When you constantly hearing a lady talking about politics or like she's arguing with people or debating or like overly opinionated, it's kind of a turn off a little bit. Like, it's good to have an opinion about certain things. Nothing wrong with that, right? I'm not saying be dumb, but I'm saying that that's not in the woman's nature, in my opinion, to be involved with these type of matters, right? Leave that up to the men. Let the man get their hands dirty, as politics tends to be pretty dirty these days. Let the men get their hands dirty and you stay out of it. Because if you're in it, you have to question whether or not it's a thrill. Because if it's a man's job to lead and move the country forward, then there's a thrill there that makes you want to be involved. And woman's emotional state is also not set up for that. Because men can get involved and let things go, and women will get involved and hold on to it. Judgment and anger and opinions don't fall away as easy with women as it does with men. Men can fight and the next day and wake up. Women oftentimes, not all, but women oftentimes hold grudges. They'll judge for a long time. They can't handle that kind of stuff. So it's just, I'm not saying that all women act that way and all women can't handle it, but it's not in them to be able to juggle that type of thing. So I'm not saying that it's wrong, I guess, but I just don't think it's a good idea. I think it works against your womanly nature. And Lily, and I'm playing Lily's videos, and she's saying some smart things, but it still doesn't mean that I think that it's a good idea that she gets involved. Also, I think she has a child. I seen a video where she was talking about her kid. But she's got some popularity, so maybe she's trying to, get a little buzz and make some money off of this thing and ride the wave. But, I think that if she's not careful, it'll make her mean, if it hasn't already. So I ain't saying they not saying a true thing here and there. I'm just saying that it ain't very feminine. Like, she's up there cussing and foul mouth and being tough and strong, and it's kind of unattractive, to be honest. It's kind of unattractive. I love that she, was born on a farm and she is confident in herself. I think that's good, but getting too involved in politics is unattractive. So that's how I feel about that. Just be careful and watch yourself, ladies. You know what I mean? It's not cute. All right, let me get to some calls. Let's see. Let's go to Gray out of Los Angeles. Gray, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, Joe? How you doing?
What's up, Gray? How's it going?
Going good, bro.
Nice.
No, I'm just calling because I think it was yesterday or maybe like 2 days ago, you posted something on your Instagram. It was like a stitch, and you were talking about Joe Biden, he needs to go sit down and all this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, so just what he's talking about, folks, is that I posted on my Instagram a video of Jill Biden post-debate was like praising Joe Biden for his debate and saying all these things. He's strong, he's tough, and he's all these things, but he's back there looking crazy. Looking like the lights are on, but no one's home. Just kind of lost in the sauce type of thing. So, and I just added a little commentary on it. So that's what Gray's talking about. Go ahead, Gray.
So I bring that up because, I saw the video. I didn't think anything of it. But I went into the comments, and a certain comment stood out. I'm not sure if you read your comments, but a certain comment stood out for me because there was I believe it was a girl who said, politics not your thing. Stay out of it, or you're gonna lose followers like me. And I just kind of want to know what your thoughts are on that.
I didn't even see that comment. And I know that people have been going crazy on that post and other posts that I post. I didn't think people cared that much. But
yeah.
You know, she's not wrong in a sense that um, if you get too caught up in it, you can lose followers. She's not wrong about that. I just post based off of what I see to do in the moment. I just trust that certain decision I'm making is me being just led to do it, because I don't sit at home, in all honesty, Gray. I don't sit at home and try to figure out what I'm going to post next. It just kind of happens for me. And if you look at my Instagram, it's kind of all over the place. Sometimes I post some like silly stuff. Sometimes it's serious. Sometimes it's podcast. Because I really just post based off of what I feel to do in the moment. So yeah, I mean, I'm not stressing about it, and I'm not thinking about, oh, I might lose followers. And sometimes I may be wrong for posting certain things, but yeah, I just kind of go based off of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, reading through those comments, it's like I had like a realization or like a revelation. So on my own time, I do my own podcast. So I do my own thing,
Nice.
and I just did an episode on white history on July 1st,
Okay.
and the title was this, like,
Well,
white history.
don't put the
Oh, sorry,
title, because we
sorry.
just don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to check it out first, but go ahead.
Okay. Basically, it was that white history, right?
Yeah.
And I start getting like all this traction and people commenting with their opinions on that, you know?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was interesting because all the other shows that I'd done had no traction. And I started to realize, I was like, oh man, it's crazy that I post this and this is what's getting views.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
What you're saying. Yeah.
So that's why I bring it up. It's because I realize, like, man, like the only thing that brings us together is disagreement.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, so I thought you were asking about if I should post. You're saying that the reason is because of the disagreement thing.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, no, I'm not saying if I should post. I did post this, but I'm saying, like, I had gotten the most attention on that video,
Yeah.
and the comments were up and down, like, you know, their opinions on white history and all this.
No,
But I just thought it was. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's so true. Is that what's popular and what gets the most clicks? Like, even if you go back on my post as well, what gets the most clicks is the things that's controversial, the things that make people want to fight, and that's what's popular, opposed to any of my posts about spiritual things or God or overcoming faith or whatever. Those get like literally no views, barely any views, barely any likes, barely any comments, barely any shares. But if I post anything political and people like anything that people deem as hateful or whatever, that's what gets the most views for sure.
Yeah, because it's funny. Like nobody was listening or commenting when I was doing my top 5 favorite horror films. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
They don't care. Like and I realize human beings they're only come together to disagree.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
And then I realized, like, yeah, because it was like all a chain effect for me. Like seeing your comment and then realizing how that video was doing, and it's just like, man, I didn't sign up for this. Like, I'm not no type of conservative online trying to preach to anybody. You know,
right?
Like,
exactly.
It's just pointing out things that I see in my life, but then I realize it's like, man, I guess like I'm in a corner where I'm like, do I keep posting stuff like that, or, you know what I mean? Like, because that's obviously what people want to see, and I don't know. It's just strange.
Yeah, man. I'm totally understanding your point now, and I think it's just doing our best to be led by opportunity. I rarely get into political things. It's just not always my form of interest. Sometimes it is, so I'll like speak on things. But perfect example right there is that I only get into it when it makes sense to me. So I don't ever sit back and say, well, look, this one got popular. Let me just now go all in and do political things because this is what works. I've done that before and that didn't work. And what I do is I just be led by the moment. It made sense for that moment for whatever reason. And tomorrow I might be back on a different thing.
Yeah.
So I think,
for example, like you, no, I mean to cut you off, but for example,
ahead.
like when you ran with the insurance guy, the dancing insurance guy, you ran with it, you know?
Right.
Because you saw that was picking up traction.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're using that as an example. Yeah, but see, I saw in that moment that was what was perfect. That's a great example, Gray, is that I saw in that moment that this was going to benefit me in what I was doing, so I went with that. But 3-4 months later, it's gone. Doesn't even exist anymore. But it was what it needs to be in that moment. So if you see to take this a little bit further, maybe post 3, 4, 5 videos and kind of go in that direction, and it feels like a natural thing, and it's not forced or like for clicks or whatever the case is, then do it.
Right.
But yeah, just let the moment kind of guide, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, bro. And this is why, like, I have to call you because, like, you would understand this, you know, like exactly what I'm talking about. And yeah, bro. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, bro. Love the show, and that was my call, basically.
Right on, Gray. I appreciate it, man, and I always love to hear from you, brother.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, man. You too. Joelle only cooked hamburger helper. What the? What the? See, Sal, you say you didn't want to be a mod anymore. You said it, Sal. You said, I don't want to be a mod anymore. Take me off. So I took you off. What the? I was like, fine. She want to be a mod on JFTV show. Whatever. Bye. No, I'm playing. But you said you didn't want to do it, Cecil, so I took you off. He already had too many mod. He already had too many. I don't need to be what do I need to be a mod for? Take me off. And Cecil was the first lady mod on the whole Bond network. Honor. It's an honor. And then she like, I don't want to do it. Shake my head, Cecil. Let me go to Josh out of Georgia. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, what's up, Josh? How's it going?
Going well.
Nice.
Going well. I was calling about a comment you had made at the fellowship on Sunday about how can we be called evil and also have no love at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And it actually made sense to me. And I wanted to. Did that not make sense to you still, or did you?
Explain exactly what you remember.
Jesse it was at the end of the service, and the lady had to ask the question. She asked Jesse, "Why do you call us evil?" But at the same time, it's not the. Say it's not the evil, it's the evil in us, it's not us, since there is no us, so it's all an illusion.
Right.
And then you had brought up the question, why should we say that we're evil when at the same time saying that we don't have love?
Right.
It should be either one or the other. And I just thought this was a real good example about how, like, I guess when we're talking about these spiritual things, the words like play a trick on us, and I wasn't really thinking about it too hard,
Yeah.
so it didn't it made sense to me.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah,
I get what you're
'cause
saying.
I just yeah, I mean, I just see it as everyone's evil. Everyone everyone has the evil in them, and we still also don't have love because we got to get the love from God. It comes from God. So
No, I get what
basically
you're saying.
that
I get what you're
yeah.
saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying now. And now I remember exactly how it went down. Well, I mean, I was really going based off of what the lady had said. She was mentioning,
Right.
She had called out that, like, well, if it's not of ourselves and we don't have love, how do we have anger? And then I was just making sense of that. But I understood where she was coming from because
Yeah.
I do see how, like, well, if we're gonna not use language on certain things, we gotta not use. I mean, if we're gonna use language on certain things, we gotta just do it across the board. But in the bigger picture of things, those who know the message will know it and take it and not make a big deal out of that. It's really not a big deal. It's a silly thing. But my thing that I had brought up was that if we don't, as human beings, if they don't have love, then we also have to say that we don't have anger, because if it's not of ourselves, then we don't have either. But if we do have love, then we also do have anger, but we cannot have one and have the other. As far as language sake, it just doesn't make sense when it's put in that way. So if I say that no man is good, but then I say that I'm evil, then it's kind of like, well, why do I get to identify with evil, but then I can't identify with good? And to the person who is caught up on the language, to them it seems like, oh, then I'm just subject to evil, and then that's it. So that's just for language sake, I was just trying to make sure that that's clear, so that way people don't take it out of context. But at the end of the day, like you and I both know, the language of it is irrelevant,
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I always used to get caught up on stuff like that, but it's something in me revealed it to me.
Yeah.
So it's not Jesse that because sometimes Jesse, I don't get what he's saying, and I just have to let it go through one ear and out the other ear, and a week later, that's what he meant by that.
Yeah.
It'll come to me later.
Yeah.
But it came from within, So I guess that was basically that that stood out to me a lot, man.
Yeah.
About, like, I know it throws a lot of people. I bet you a lot of people don't even know what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, maybe something in them will reveal it to them too, because it comes from within,
Yeah, and at the end of the day, 100%, it does come from within. At the end of the day, the truth is the truth, no matter how you slice it up in the way you word it. The truth is wordless, right? It just is a revelation. It just makes sense. So it doesn't matter how you word it. But I do think that there's a necessary aspect of using the proper language, and people may not all agree on what the proper language is, but it's just I think it's just an extra added element to get your point across. So that was just me backing up what she had said about it. And I understood what you're saying, and I see what she means by that. But, again, at the end of the day, just do you and just know what makes sense.
Yeah.
But
because I think it's like trying. Something in me wants to try hard to make sure other people understand what I'm talking about, but that doesn't work.
That's true. That's true.
That doesn't work.
Yeah. No,
so that's all I have, man. I don't want to hold up the line or anything, but I just wanted to point that out.
Well, I appreciate that, Josh. That's a good point. Call me again, man.
Yep. Okay, we'll do, man. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I think language is not important, but it's necessary. And trying to make your language perfect is not important either. But there's still an awareness that should be on it. So, but the point is the point, and whether the way I want to say it is the way I say it or the way somebody else wants to say it, the point is the point. So there shouldn't be no importance on too much of the language because people come from different places. People say things differently. People believe certain words matter. Like people can say God's love is permanent, but a person can say God's love is unconditional. But a lot of people don't like the word unconditional. So they use a different word, but it all means the same thing. You know what I mean? Okay, let me go to William out of California. William, what's going on?
Hey, boy, what's going on, man?
All is well, William. How are you?
Sorry about that, boy, man. I didn't mean that.
No, you're all good. No worries.
How you doing?
All is well.
So, what's the subject matter today?
Oh, wait, were you not listening?
I heard something about women voting.
No, I was saying that women. Well, hold on, really quick. Derek, see for sure exactly what William wants to talk about because I'm running low on time, and I want to be able to get to all the calls here. Rick out of Hampton. Rick, welcome to the show. You're on the.
What's going on, Joel? How you doing, brother?
All is well, Rick. Hold on one second. Let me. Your volume's a little bit louder. You still there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, okay. There we go. How's it going, Rick?
Man, it's going pretty good, my brother Joel, man. Happy 4th of July. Happy White History Month to all my white brothers and sisters out there today.
Right on. Happy White History Month.
Yes, sir. And, Joel, I want to comment on politics, man. I'll tell you, it's so easy to get addicted to politics. What I mean by that, I'll explain real quick. Ever since Trump lost, when he lost, I've been watching, just trying to watch some of my favorite shows, like you, Jesse, Nick, James, some of my other conservative brothers I listen to. And, man, sometimes I'll be up 1 o'clock in the morning listening to different, views of what's going on.
Yeah.
And, it's so easy to get addicted to politics, man,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not, and now politics would be back in the day when Reagan ran, they ran on the issues. Whatever the issues was, that's what the campaign was. Not all this insulting folks. You know how they do it now. And to me, the Democrats keeps it going. They're always trying to gas out, making it sound like it's the conservatives making division, but it's always the Democrats, man.
Interesting. And why do you think, just real quick, Rick, why do you think that it's so easy to, in your opinion, get hooked on politics?
Well, because I'm gonna go from my experience there, Joel.
Yeah.
It was just like you're just trying to just watch and watch. I mean, it's just so easy to do. And now it's not that you really mean to get hooked on it, but you just want you want the best, and you can't control nothing. You know what I mean? And you're just trying to stay alert.
So, meaning, what do you mean exactly? Like what draws somebody to really get involved in something like that? The fact that maybe a person believes that they're right and they stand firm on it, and the other person is wrong, or what makes people care so much about that kind of stuff? If you could think.
I'd say I could say me. I would say it's between. It's just trying to keep a lookout. You know how the Democrats are moving, and just try and know evil when they're trying to spew it out. Even when Republicans do it, call it out on them too. You know.
Yeah.
And but for the most part, it always seems like it's always the Democrats that are gaslighting, make people, you know, Republicans ain't said nothing about it, and they'll make it seem like, you know, that he's the Republicans. He's racist. You know what I mean? Look at him. You know, he's against abortion, so he's racist, and that kind of stuff. You know, and it gets you irritable, and you know that's what you're trying to get angry. But I think a lot of times we get angry. We know it's right, and then we try and just, you know, just like want to hear how they moving and stuff, like how the Democrats trying to move.
Yeah.
And you get angry. You know, you do get angry. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is where the stickiness comes from. Is like the, you know, getting angry or getting caught up in the just identifying with the right and wrong thing, and you know, thinking like, you know, my way is right and your way is wrong, and not that that's not true, but it's like when we get angry about it or we get passionate about it or we want to like make something happen, as if we really have control in the first place, as if God is not in control of all things. That's when it gets, and I feel like that is the problem on both sides between the Republicans or the Democrats, is it's too emotional and it's too serious and too try hard. And that always ends up in just fighting and war and not like peace and love.
Because my wife I was going to bed about 1 o'clock in the morning there, Brother Joel. My wife was like saying, "Why don't you come to bed with me?" And I'm up there trying to watch politics. What's going on?
Yeah.
You know, and I can't do nothing about it. Nothing about it, because God gonna permit what He gonna permit.
Yeah.
And the only thing, and you know, most blacks tend to be vote Democrats always. And you'll get one, and it's so sad. It's like you have a passion for them to open their eyes and tell them like. And a lot of them will call themselves Christian, but I say, why don't you vote biblically? Vote the Bible. That's how you should vote. Well, isn't that you can't mix politics and religion together? I said, that's wrong.
Exactly.
God wants you to vote for righteous government because they will have an effect on your life.
Yeah. No.
And I be having a passion to push that, you know. But for the most part, it's like a lot of them are just ignorant, man.
Yeah. People don't know. And of course there's a time for us to like speak up too, you know what I mean? But I think that it really comes down to you know, us realizing that we really can't do nothing about it. And there's times where I'm like, I'll be at the dinner table with family and then they bring stuff up and then I just want to like chew them up, right? But then you know, and sometimes you get in the conversation but then it's like, okay, well, how much does it really matter? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter that much to have to get all deep into it and get carried away. Like, it's really not worth it. So I think we just got to start watching it, paying attention, and realizing that God is in control.
You know, and that's what it is, too, Joel. Sometimes we try and take it from God and trying to help God out a bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
It ain't right, but you know, I guess we get, you remember that Congressman Jamal Bowman always hollering in people's face and stuff. Well, that's an angry man. He said, "That's not anger, it's passion."
Right.
Oh Lord.
That's a trick too. That's a trick too, right there. Trying to change the language of it. It's passion to justify. No,
it's passion to justify anger. No, you need to get rid of it.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, the Republicans and me, they would hate to talk to him. He get to hollering and screaming.
Right.
No, it's not anger, it's passion. I said, oh Lord. I said, if you're passionate about something, stand up for it and just step behind you. You gotta be hollering and screaming at folks.
That's right. Well, I'm running out of time here, Rick. I gotta get to these
Joel.
last calls,
Well,
but I appreciate
are y'all
it.
coming on tomorrow for the 4th of July?
I'm gonna talk with.
Tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna double check with the team, and we'll keep everybody updated.
Okay, then. Well, if not, man, have a happy 4th of July, guys. Y'all be safe. Go see some fireworks.
Right
Love
on.
one another, man, and let brotherly love continue, guys.
Right on, Rick. You as well, Rick. Happy 4th. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Love y'all. Be good.
All right. All right, let's get to William. William out of California. William, you there?
Oh, I'm here. Sorry about that. Yeah, I heard a couple of your conversations, and I couldn't agree with Rick. And he hit it on the nose. I think you just have to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about and who's around you when you talk about it. My old lady does that too. She's not into that stuff like I am, and you have to take a step back and spend time with her.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
You know what I mean? And pay attention to her when she has a concern like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very hot up here now.
No.
It'll be 110 degrees.
Oh, where are you at? Oh, well, you don't have to say where you are, but it is getting hot in California in general. That's for sure. It's been crazy the past week.
I'm in Manteca, but I'm going to get out of here and go to the ranch because it's a little bit cooler up there.
Nice.
Check on these cows and make sure they have plenty of water because it's pretty hot.
Oh, you got a ranch?
Yeah, about 12 acres up in Sebastopol.
Nice. That's cool. You
know what that is? You know what it is, right?
No, I never heard of it.
You heard of the wine country?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sonoma County.
So you got cows and what else?
That's it.
Nice. So you got.
That's it. And a shout out to the farmers that are in the chat because I'm not going to have them doxed. A couple of them helped me get that back going.
Right on.
Because I used to do it with my grandfather. So
yeah,
cows are the best lawnmower you can find.
Right on. Yeah, I believe that. Right. Yeah, I love that, man. Right on. Well, I appreciate it, William. Any last comments before I end the show? I got about a minute here.
You ain't got but a minute, but I'm just going to say Rick is right on point with that. And I've seen where you had you were talking about women voting and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say this: men gave women the right to vote.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
When they talk too much, it is. I have to agree with you. It's not that attractive.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to. Nobody really wants to hear all of that in the first place, really in general. And it's only because it's a thrill. It's ego in the first place. It's a thrill for them to have the desire to really get involved deeply in this kind of stuff. So 100%, William. Well, I appreciate it. And call me again.
You too. Yeah. Okay. Happy 4th of July. Happy White History Month.
Happy 4th. Happy White History, man. Call me again.
All right. Take care.
Nice. I got an end. And yeah, that's the show, y'all. But just be aware. I know that we just can't. I mean, I'll speak for myself. In my life, I've never found myself to be able to just drop things. For me personally, I've always it took God having to reveal things to me, meaning like bring awareness to things and draw me in to allow me to really understand why I need to drop it, why it's not doing me any good, blah, blah, blah. And I've never been able to change it. And I think that's what the case is across the board, but I'll just speak for myself. And so I say that to say is we just got to be aware. Be aware if we get caught up in politics or caught up in mess, then, we don't got to judge it and be like, oh, I got to drop it right now. Let me just stop. Just be aware of it. Just be aware, watch it, and don't judge yourself about it. And God will make it do what it do. Let God cook. Let God cook. T-shirt coming soon. We working on it. Might have some samples that I can show you guys, and you can help me choose which one to use. But let God cook. I was rushing, but I still got to rush. American Anchor Baby is not coming in right after, but excuse me, he does have a show coming up today, so stay tuned for that. He will be doing a show. I just don't know exactly what time, but it's not right after now. But keep an eye out and ear out. American Anchor Baby is coming up. Follow JLP Network across the board. JLP Network on YouTube and on Instagram. We got the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. We got the Hake Report, Joel Friday TV, the American Anchor Baby Show, and soon to add more. JLP has plans to add a 24-hour network, and we're working on it. We got some stuff coming, different things popping up. You guys don't have nothing, you don't know nothing about it. But we got some stuff coming. So be on the lookout. Subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. If the Lord is willing. Because we'll see. Because it's 4th of July. But anyway, happy 4th of July. Have a good week. Enjoy it. Spend it with your family. And all that good stuff. I gotta go. Until next time. Bye.